Hello, I'm Sherry Sturman, Director of Crayola Education. We're excited the Penguin is collaborating with Crayola on this read-along, draw-along event. This series helps children enjoy great stories and the illustrations that bring them to life. So get cozy, grab some drawing supplies, and get ready for an interactive story session. I'm thrilled to introduce Anoosha Syed, the author and illustrator of the important story, That's Not My Name. Anoosha, you have lived in many countries. Please tell us how you got started illustrating children's books and how living in Pakistan, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Switzerland, the United States, and now Canada has influenced your writing.
Hey, hello everyone, I'm so excited to be here talking to you all today. So I got my start illustrating and writing books because when I was a kid, I absolutely loved to read. I would read way past my bedtime, borrow so many books from the library and returning them on way off of time. But I really wanted to write stories because it was a way for me to escape to a different world. As you have heard, I've lived in a lot of different places, which meant that I was always the new kid, and having that form of escape really helped me out when I was new to a new place and still making new friends. And so that's where I really found my love of reading and writing. For art, that was mostly, again, because I moved in so many different places. I feel very privileged and happy that I get to see so many different types of cultures, and that also means so many different types of art that I was influenced by, and seeing especially the different types of folk art and things like that, and how kids across the world have different types of stories, but also that we're all kind of similar in the end as well. So both of these things really helped me find my love for the job that I have now.
Anoosha, before the story begins, you have a special message on the dedication page. Please tell us more about the person who gave you the idea for this book and about the statement, "We'll never find a keychain with our names on it, but we have each other."
So it's actually really funny. This book is dedicated to my husband, Daniel, and he actually really helped me figure out what this book should be about. So if you guys don't know, That's Not My Name is actually my very first book that I have written and illustrated. And I wanted my first book to be something that was really special to me and special to a lot of kids. So unfortunately, when I was growing up, I didn't really like my name because a lot of people had trouble with it. And now as a grown up, I love my name. However, I was talking with my husband, and his name is Daniel, but everyone calls him by the Americanized version, which is Daniel. And we were having a really interesting conversation about how he, even now as a grown-up, he is fine with everyone calling him Daniel. And I thought that was kind of sad. If he had a book like this, like That's Not My Name, he might have loved his name a little bit more. And the fact of the keychain is that with a name like Anoosha, I don't think I've ever seen a keychain or a magnet or any kind of personalized item with my name on it before. And it might not seem like a big deal, but you do feel a little bit left out. So I hope one day I'll find a keychain with my name on it, or maybe make one of my own.
Great idea to create your own, but keep looking. Anoosha, we're excited to hear this important story. Please read That's Not My Name.
All right, everyone, I'm so excited for you guys to read my book, That's Not My Name. This is our main character, Mirha. You say her name like this. Mir as in miracle, ha as in haha. It was Mirha's first day of school. In the morning, Baba made her favorite breakfast. Mama kissed Mirha's forehead and Nani waved them goodbye. So you can see her whole family is here for her. Her dad says, "Good morning, Mirha." Her mom says, "I love you, Mirha." And her Nani says, "Good luck, Mirha." Mirha had been waiting for months to start school. She was so excited to learn, to play, and most of all, to make friends. She shyly stood in front of the class and said, "My name is Mirha." Mirha thought her name was simple and easy, but the other kids couldn't say it right. They stretched out the I until it sounded like an E, and their R sounded wrong. Some people even forgot the H. And so the kids in her class called her all sorts of things that were not her name. Things like Mina and Miriam and Mirha and Miro and Mira, Nurha, Meha, Neha, and Mara. Even some of her teachers said it wrong. One of her teachers asks, "Is Mina here?" And Mirha didn't want to be called Mina for the rest of the year, but she was too shy to speak up and correct her teacher, so she raised her hand and said, "Here." Hayden asked Mirha if he could call her Maya. He said that would be easier for everyone to say. And she wanted to shout, "That's not my name!" But she didn't. Mirha's first day hadn't gone how she had imagined at all. "Why can't anyone say my name right?" she wondered sadly. "Mama and Baba and Nani can say it. Why can't anyone else?" Mirha felt like giving up. She thought about changing her name to something easier, something other kids would think was normal. If she had a different name, no one would get it wrong when she ordered hot chocolate at cafes. Maybe she could finally find a keychain with her name on it. Maybe she could make some friends. When she arrived home, Mirha told Mama about her plan to change her name, but Mama didn't look happy. "You have a beautiful name," she said. "Mirha means happiness in Arabic," Mama said. "The first time that I heard you laugh, I knew that it fit you perfectly. I know your name is different from your classmates, but that isn't a bad thing. It just means that it is unique and special. Your name is something to be proud of, and no one can take that away from you." Mama said that Mirha shouldn't change her name for anyone. If people can remember the names of famous people like Beethoven and Tchaikovsky and Michelangelo, then they can remember Mirha. "You're right, Mama. I'm proud of my name and I love what it means. I can't wait to tell the whole world that my name is Mirha." Mirha kept Mama's words close to her when she went back to school the next day. "My name is Mirha, not Maya," she told Hayden proudly, and explained how to pronounce it properly. "I'll make sure to say your name right from now on, Mirha," said Hayden. "I'm also really sorry that I hurt your feelings yesterday." When he asked if they could play together, Mirha smiled. She just made her first friend at school. Sometimes people still got it wrong, but that was okay, because now Mirha knew what to say. You can see one of her friends says, "Hey, Mirha," but Mirha says, "That's not my name." Now Mirha has so many new friends at school. They all have unique, beautiful names, and she always makes sure she says them right. "I like my name because it means little loved one," said Aiko. And Jasper joined in and said that he was named after his granddad. Mirha loves how different they all are, and she's excited to make even more friends. Maybe you could be a friend too. "Hi, my name is Mirha. What's yours?" The end.
Anoosha, many of our viewers will be heading back to school soon, and this story can help them with that transition. What are the main messages that you want readers to remember from the story?
As someone with a name that's kind of hard to say and people get wrong a lot, I really wish I had a book like this when I was little because, like Mirha, I was a really shy girl. And when people would get my name wrong, I thought it was okay to let people call me that. And I didn't know that it was okay for me to stand up for myself, especially because names are so important. So I hope that kids reading this book know that their names are beautiful just the way that they are, and they don't need to change it for anyone, and that it's important to stand up for yourself. But I also hope that kids in general know that if you meet someone with a name that's kind of hard to say, then you should try your very, very best to say it right, because I know it's going to mean the world to that other person.
So speaking of beautiful names, let's talk about the section of the book where the kids become friends, and each of the characters in the story talks about what's behind their name, whether that's what the word means or who they were named for. Why is it helpful to understand that story behind your own name as well as the names of friends and classmates?
I think it's it's so interesting to know the story behind names because names are so special and it can have a different meaning to a lot of people. My name is actually a Turkish name, which means happiness, just like Mirha's, and I feel that it fits me really well. But I also know that it was a name that my parents really loved, and it was a sign of how much they love me. So I love hearing about other people's names because I love to hear if they have an interesting meaning, if there's a connection with someone in their family, because it's just so interesting to know about people and it can tell you a lot as well. There are so many beautiful names out there in the world, and for a lot of people, the names that they have is a big connection to their culture and where they are from as well. For example, I try to include names from all different parts of the world because I know that can be really important for a lot of people. My sister, for example, she has a name that is a Pakistani name, and we are originally from Pakistan, and I know that she loves having a name that is part of her culture as well.
I'm excited that we're now going to do the first hands-on art experience, and we call this My Friend Mirha. Anoosha, you have been a professional animator as well as illustrator, so you have lots of experience bringing characters' personalities to life. Please show our viewers how to draw Mirha and provide tips on how they can draw themselves or any character that they love with a great expression.
All right, hello everyone. I'm super excited to be drawing Mirha with you all today. Before we get started, I actually have like one very helpful tip. I am actually going to be having Mirha on the side while I'm drawing, and this is called having a reference. A lot of the times, if you don't know how to draw something, then I like having it close by, like a photo or something, so I know how to draw it easily. As we draw Mirha, I always like to start with the head, and she's got a big, round head. And after I draw this little circle that you see here, I'm going to draw very lightly a line down the middle here and another line here. This is another trick I like to use when I'm drawing faces, because you'll see that the nose is going to end up somewhere in the middle here. So I'm going to draw, she's got cute round little nose like this. And right now I'm drawing with a brown color pencil. So the nose starts in the middle here, and then the eyes will fall on either side of this line here. So again, she's got these really big round eyes. So I'm going to draw the round top of her eye like this. And then with a lighter color, I'm going to draw the bottom part also round like this. In the middle, I'm going to draw her pupil, very big and round, and I'm just going to color that in here. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side as well. So I'm going to do this a little quickly. All right, once I have her eyes down, I want to add in all of the other details around her eye as well. So she's got her eyelid, that's a little line above her eye here. And you can see she's got a pretty sassy face going on here. So I am going to draw in her eyebrows like this, one kind of going down like this and one up like this. Most importantly, we've got her smile, and her smile kind of comes to the side a little bit, and it's just a little U. Now, once I have her face, I start to sketch in the rest of her. So we have her chin, and again, this is very round, and I'm following over the sketch that I started with. Then on the side of her face, where we had that line on the side, I'm going to draw 2 circles for her ears and make a little X. Then I'm going to draw her hair, and her hair, you can think of it as a bunch of little triangles. So a triangle like one here, and a triangle here, and then a triangle this way. And then these 2 little pieces that go down her face like this. And then 2 more triangles for a ponytail. And I'm drawing kind of lightly right now, but I'm going to go over it a bit darker now. I always like to try to draw lightly to figure out where everything should go, and then I'll draw over it afterwards. All right, this is looking pretty good so far. Now the rest of her body. So she's got some pretty cute little overalls on today. So for her body, I'm going to draw a little bit of a square for the top half of her, and then her skirt, which goes out like this. And there are these little semicircles on the bottom for her ruffles. For her overalls, there are these two rectangles that go on either side and a line that cuts through them. Now when I'm drawing the arms, I'm going to give you guys a little tip. I first draw a little stick arm. So I'm going to do, she's got her arm out like this, one here and then one there. I'm going to draw these little sticks just to show which direction they're going in. So one like this and one like this. And then around it, I'm going to draw her actual arm. And we can't forget the little details. When I'm drawing characters, kid characters, you guys have the best fashion. So I try to make sure I put all of these little details into her drawing, like these cute little apples, the little pocket on her dress, and so on. Once I have the sketch done, then I'm going to color on top of it. But I actually colored something like this in earlier, so I can show you guys that now. Da, 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 da. And this is how I would color it in afterwards at the end. I like using a lot of different colors. You can see I've got some peaches here. I've got some reds as well. And basically I would just go through and color bit by bit for all these little parts that we have. And I also like to put colors on top of each other. So I start like a peachy color for her skin and then a red for her blush and so on. I love using color pencils, but I also like using a lot of different other techniques as well. So I made another one with markers as well, which I thought was really fun. And then another one with crayons too. Now you guys remember that it was really important for me to have my reference on the side. Well, I had a kid ask me the other day, Anoosha, do you ever make mistakes? And you know what? I do all the time. You can see that because I didn't have my reference with me on the side, I actually drew her hand wrong. So I always think it's really helpful to have what you are drawing in front of you. But even if you do, I think it still looks okay. What do you guys think?
Embracing our mistakes is a great way to learn. Now I'm excited about the second hands-on art experience that we call our special keychains. So earlier you described the feelings that come with knowing that your name will not be on a rack of keychains or magnets or hairbreadths. An illustration of the story that really punctuates how isolating that can feel is to see a rack of keychains or jewelry or hats that have so many names, and yet you know yours will not be there until now. Let's challenge our viewers to create a keychain that includes their name or the special name of a family member or friend who might not see their name on that rack.
All right, guys, for our next activity, I'm so excited to be making some keychains with you guys. So you might remember that I said that I was never able to find a keychain with my name on it. So I'm just gonna make one of my own. So this can be fun to do for yourself or for a friend or a family member. So what we're gonna first start off by doing is getting some colored paper. Now I thought it'd be fun to have two different colors, and I'm going to stick them on top of each other and make a really fun shape out of it. So let's do purple. I really love purples. So the first thing I do is I'm going to write my name out over here, and I'm going to try not to make it too big so I can fit it onto a keychain. And I'm going to see color would work best? Let's do this blue. So I'm going to, with a pencil, just write it a little bit lightly so I know how big it needs to be. And I'm gonna write my own name here. So that's A-N-O-O-S-H-A. I'm gonna go in with my marker. I think I'm gonna do some bubble lettering for this. I'm gonna do a few different versions so I can have a bunch of different keychains depending on what mood I'm in. So here's my bubble font. I'm gonna draw around it. There we go. And then if I wanted to color in, I could do that too. Once I've written out my name, I have to decide what shape I want my keychain to be. So I'll first start off by making a little rectangle all around this. And I could cut out my rectangle just like this, but I want to add a little bit more to it. So I think I'm going to make some, let's see, I'm gonna do these little flower shapes around it. And then with my scissors, I'm going to cut this out. I find it easier to cut around this first, just so I don't have this big paper in the way. Put that to the side. All right, once I have this fun little shape, I could just leave it like this. But remember, I've got this other really fun blue paper that I really want to use. So I'm going to have this as the background of my keychain. So I think I'm gonna make my keychain about this big. I think that might look really good. And then I really want to add more color to this. So I'm gonna move this to the side. And I'm gonna take my, let's say my purple here, and I'm going to draw a bunch of stripes all around. That's okay, it's a little bit messy over here because remember, I'm going to cut this part off and then this part is gonna be covered up by this anyway. Now I'm doing some stripes here, but if you wanted to do polka dots or flowers or stars, you can do whatever you want. I think this is a really fun opportunity to be creative and try something different. Once I have this ready, then I'm going to stick this on top with my glue. Just a little bit all over. And this is my favorite part, to squish this down. Just like press it down, make sure it's fully stuck on. Once it's fully dry, then I can cut out along the line that I made. Oh my gosh, this is looking pretty cool already, but I think we can add a little bit more to it. Let's see, what else could we do? I do like I've got a little bit of a border going on the inside, so I think I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. I got my green. And we're still not done because I think I can squeeze in one more color. I think I'm gonna add these kind of like semicircles over. Oh my gosh, this is looking great. Oh my gosh. So once we have our keychain ready to go, we are gonna ask a grown-up to make a hole right over here, and then we can attach a keychain. What do you call these guys? It's like one of these keychain things to it, and then you can have it ready to go to hang onto your backpack or anything you want. However, for now, I think this looks great even just as a name tag, so I might stick this up right where I can see it every day so I can see my beautiful name. It would be great to do one more because I made a really nice keychain for myself, but I think I want to make one for my husband as well. Because he loves dogs, I think I'm going to make one in the shape of a wiener dog. So you'll notice that I used bubble letters for my name and I'm using cursive for his. I think it's really fun to try different techniques and try different things. You never know if you don't try, right? So I've got his name here, and now I have to cut this out. Now this is a pretty tough shape, so if you are doing a tough shape, you can always ask your parents and they will probably help you out. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot my trick of cutting around the shape first. That's gonna make it so much easier for me. All right, we got our cute little puppy here. Now, of course, we are missing a couple of things on this puppy, so we have to draw his nose. Little puppy eyes. A big smile. And his ears. His paws. And I think this is looking pretty good, but wouldn't it be fun if we added some other little things to it? Like maybe creative little hot dog puppies. So maybe he's got some stars on him. I'm gonna use the red. I'm gonna draw a couple of stars. I wanna make this really extra special for Daniel. Now I'm thinking, because I love cats, maybe I should make another one for myself with a kitty cat this time, or a unicorn. Oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless. Actually color in the ear so it can stand out a little bit better. And maybe one more star here. Okay, cool. Now I do want to do a couple of different colors. Let's see, do I want the yellow or the green? The yellow or the green? You know what, we can probably do both. Let's do both. Again, we are gonna draw a rectangle around his name. So I'm gonna do it just like this. And this is gonna be a pretty big keychain, but it's okay. We choose our own rules here. We get to do whatever we want. So I'm gonna cut this out right now. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. So let's cut our rectangle. And because I wanna do two colors, I'm gonna actually draw the same shape over onto the green, trace around it to make sure it's the same shape and it's the same size. So now what I'm gonna do is I want to do a crisscross triangle shape. So I'm going to draw a line like this, all over. And you see what I'm going to do in a second. I'm going to cut out these triangles. And because we traced this on top, this is gonna match perfectly, right? It's the perfect shape for this. And I'll just cut out the rest. Okay, got all these triangles with me now. And let's stick these on. So I'm gonna grab my glue again and stick these on one by one. Now, this is getting pretty messy, but you know what? That's why I love art, because it's just so messy and fun. I love it. And you can always clean this up later too. Now, I do have to find what shape fits the best. I think it might be this one. Yeah. Okay, while this is drying, I think we have time to spruce this up a little bit too. So I'm going to draw a few polka dots on the yellow part. And then finally, our little puppy goes on top. Wow, doesn't it look good? And it kind of looks like he's walking through a really grassy area. So our final glue over here, and gotta make sure we go onto his legs and his tail. And that is it. Oh my goodness. I'm actually a little bit jealous now. I like his more than mine. Maybe I'll make a little kitty cat for myself now. But look how easy it was to make your own little keychains. Now just remember, ask your parents to make a little hole right here so you can attach your own keychain piece onto it, or just use it as a name tag. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little activity, and I can't wait to see what you guys make.
What fun. I love the way you customize those. Now that you've seen Anoosha's wonderful illustrations, it's your time to draw. Grab some crayons, watercolors, or markers and paper. Think about which image you want to draw, a character illustration or a special keychain that honors kids whose names might not be found on the racks. Well, kids of all ages are busy drawing. I want to mention that parents and teachers can be the first to know about our next Read Along Draw Along program and other free, colorful learning experiences just by signing up for the Crayola Education e-newsletter. Just check the education box as you sign up. As young children finish their art, we recommend that parents and teachers ask them about their drawings and what they learned about other people's names. Then post a photo of their art in the comment section of this video. We can't wait to see what they create. Anoosha, this book shows a wide range of feelings, from embarrassment to pride, and how we can move from being timid to becoming bold. Please offer some closing advice for our viewers about expressing our feelings and speaking up for ourselves.
Like I said before, I think it's so important to stand up for yourself and for what is right. I know that especially when you're little, you have so many emotions inside of you and you don't really know what to do with them. I was a really shy girl. I felt bad about people not being able to say my name. But if you remember in the book, it was really important that Mirha told her parents how she felt about it so she could figure out what to do, and to tell other people how she felt as well. Mirha told Hayden that she didn't like that he called her by a different name, and they worked together to make sure that he would say her name right. So I hope all of you watching right now, you guys know, again, your names are beautiful. It's okay to stand up for yourself and for other people, which I think is really important as well.
We want to thank Anoosha Syed for inspiring us today. We also want to thank Penguin Kids and Penguin Classroom for collaborating with Crayola on this Read Along Draw Along program. And I want to share a special thanks to all of you for joining us.
Bye everyone, thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.